Salute BookTube, welcome to my channel. Thank you for being here. This is part 3 of my childhood books video where I go through my shelves of my childhood books that I have retained since I was a child. This was the inspiration of Paul, the accidental bookseller. He made this video initially, and I think he's making it as a lead up to his big event in November called Narnia in November. Um, in which he hopes to go back to the Narnia books and read them. I think the first time he's going to be reading them since his childhood. I hope to participate all the way in November. Um, and for me, at least, I haven't read it since childhood. I haven't read those books since childhood, so I'm very much looking forward to it. I'll link Paul's channel below. I'll link his version of this video as well. You should check it out. Before we do start continuing with these bookshelves, I hope this is part 3, the last part. It might, I don't know if there'll be a part 4. Hopefully not. Hopefully for you not. But let's see how this one goes. But just before we do start with these books, I did want to go back to my challenge. I showed this Arabic book last time, and I challenged all of you to guess which book it is. It's about an alpine little girl that starts with an H, who lives in an alpine kind of village. Well, that doesn't look very alpine, but perhaps there. That's a very alpine look with the snow. But I challenged you to guess what this fairy tale was, and the winner was Angelina. She guessed Heidi, and it's Heidi. It's translated as Heidi, yeah, Heidi, I guess, in Arabic. And this is just the Arabic translation, children's book. Congratulations, Angelina. If this was a big, massive channel, you'd win a prize. Rather than a prize, I will link to your channel, and I'll encourage everybody to check it out. I know Angelina has taken a bit of a break from BookTube, but you should still check out her channel. She has a back catalog of videos still worth watching. So yeah, congratulations again. The Arabic version, they've kept the same artwork. You know, blonde. This blonde it doesn't really exist in the Middle East, but it is what it is, I guess. And then there is an honorable mention, a second prize, I guess. Honorable mention, second place goes to Jenny. The channel is called Jenny Jables. I was not sure what this is. This book, also in Arabic, also translated, another children's fairy tale. The Arabic translation translated into the generous dwarfs, I guess. So I wasn't sure what this was. And then Jenny, in the comments of my last video, part 2, again, I'll link part 1, part 2 if you do want to watch it. She said that this is probably, and I think she's right, it's the Shoemaker's Elves, or the Elves of the Shoemakers, a famous Grimm brothers story. So thank you, Jenny. Again, if there's a prize, I would give it to you, but all I can do is encourage you guys to check out both Angelina's channel, Books Do Things to Me, and then check out Jenny Jables' channel. I'll link to it as well. So yeah, with those with the prize winning ceremonies out of the way, we can continue with the books. These books should be compared to part 1, part 2, a bit older children's book, so more. Yeah, I guess we can say middle school, I guess. But I'm just thinking now where to start. I should have figured this out before I filmed. The only issue I have is this shelf. These books are the shelf right behind the camera I'm filming. So I also have to be careful when I'm pulling out these books that the camera doesn't fall down. But hopefully it'll go well. Let's start. These are still these are some special books, larger books. Still on the bottom shelf before we go to the top shelf. This one is Walt Disney's Storyland. Look at that. 55 favorite stories adapted from Walt Disney films. Again, it was pretty badly damaged. I did a bit of repairing. You can see the back cover. Use some familiar faces. Dumbo, Mickey Mouse, Daffy Duck, Snow White, and all the rest of them. Pinocchio is there. Um, but just um, a lot of text and a lot of pictures and illustrations. So if we quickly go through the table of contents, you can see Bambi is the first one, but it's actually torn. That's a shame, but it's very fragile. Um, when is this one? This could have been my mother's, and she had passed it down to us. Uh, Adapted from Walt Disney Films, illustrated by Walt Disney Studios, story selected by Francis Saldinger. Is there a date, a publication date? Copyright 1987. Okay, oh, there's a bunch of copyrights, I'm scared to show any more photos or any more pictures, but you've got Bambi, Hiawatha, Donald Duck, Private Eye, Snow White, Once Upon a Winter Time, Chip and Dale, The Sorcerer's Apprentice, Paul Revere, Dumbo of the Circus, Cinderella, Peter Pan, Uncle Remus, a whole bunch of Disney books. The next one is similar. Again, this could be my mother's and it was passed down. It's Richard Scarry's best story book ever. And the subtitle is 82 Wonderful Round the Year Stories and Poems. Again, also heavily fixed up. Yeah, similar thing, a bit much younger though, much younger readers. A lot of illustrations, but for much younger readers than the first Walt Disney book. This is another one, 101 2-minute tales. Again, similar idea. Of just 2-minute tales, I guess. Again, targeting much younger audiences, readers. This one, okay, well, the next two are also Walt Disney books. This one is probably my sister's, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Again, I'm scared to show illustrations here because of the copyrights. And then we have also, this one is probably mine. This book I read I read to destruction, but it's the Jungle Book. I think influenced by the Rudyard Kipling book. That sticker wasn't there. That's a sticker I put, but when I was a kid, I loved the Jungle Book. I think there was a cartoon which I used to watch a lot, but I had this as well. So the first one, the Snow White, is my sister's. This was probably mine. I've got the Rudyard Kipling Jungle Books book. I've got I think it's a Penguin edition, Penguin Classics edition. I haven't read it. I haven't read any Kipling. I'm sorry to say. I should correct that sometime soon. So we'll continue. Again, just make sure the ergonomics here is okay. Puzzle Island, just a book of puzzles. Pretty self-explanatory. Wild Ponies, the Wild Ponies of the Assateague Islands. Where are the Assateague Islands? This book is for young explorers, National Geographic Society. But where's the Assateague Islands? Will it tell me quickly? I want to guess this is in Canada. It's got a stamp that says property of John Grant High School, 275 36th Avenue, Lachine. I think that's in Canada. That's in Quebec. Interesting. I believe it's Canada. Maybe Canadian watchers can rectify, can correct me if I'm wrong. This is a sticker fun and coloring book, Treasure Island. I guess this is what you do. You gotta color it, or cover it. That sort of thing with like the artwork. More Puzzle Island. I remember this book, Susanna Lee, illustrated by Brenda Hall. It's just an adventure story, and then I think there's puzzles with you've got to solve the puzzles. More Ponies and Horses, A Young Rider's Guide. This by Nigel Tyler. This could be my sister. The ponies, I never got into the horse riding, unfortunately, hobby, but I don't think my sister did, but I think she must have been fascinated, was dabbling. I don't know if she ever did, though. I don't think so. The Osborne Book of Face Painting. Okay, my birthday is on Halloween, so Halloween is a big deal for me. So this stuff is like, it just gives you how to do it, basically. That's probably why I have it. This is a crossword book. It's called, yeah, crossword search. This is my book. This is probably me at the tail end of my reading. Again, if you haven't watched part 1 or part 2, I was a pretty, normal child reader, or enthusiastic reader, up until I got into secondary school or high school, junior high. That's when I stopped reading, and I got back into reading in my adult years, when I was about 20, 21 years old. But there was this big gap between, we can say, 13 years old and 20 years old, where I did no reading. This is probably at the tail end of that early childhood reading. It's called Facing the Double-Edged Sword. The Art of Karate for Young People by Terence Webster Doyle. And it's got the, I don't know if you can see that, the Benjamin Franklin Award, Publishers Marketing Association. But yeah, this is, it's about karate, and it's got great artwork as well. Look at this work of art. It's very beautiful. Oops, got excited. Nice memories from here, but how to deal with a bully, but also it doesn't. The first rule of karate, any martial arts, is, where was it here? There was a good chapter title. I saw it. Can I find it quickly? If I can find, I'm sorry, look at this, look at that. But where was the, there you go, non-violent alternatives. That's always the best alternative. This is not non-violence. This is only a self-defense, worst case scenarios. These two is a double, Sally Kilroy drawing, copycat drawing book. Mostly for drawing rather than reading. What's this? Free Stuff for Kids. Canada's #1 kids activity book. The best free and up to $2 things kids can spend for by mail. I have a lot of books about Canada because I went to the school I went to had a high proportion of Canadian teachers and Canadian administrators. I think they used to get a lot of Canadian books. So these are hobbies, what you can do, hobbies you can do for free. Well, origami. That's what else is there? Chess, the brain game. Nintendo Appeal. I don't know how free Nintendo is. Quite expensive hobby for kids. Again, this is me in my younger days when I was getting into this sport, which I played. I was I got pretty advanced, but then I stopped. Just like I stopped reading, I stopped playing. This is how to play tennis, a step-by-step guide. I think that's the publisher's name, but this is old. You could tell from the shorts, it's from the 80s probably. Yeah, copyright 1989. Introduction, and then there's all kinds of diagrams and what to do. There's a lot of books here that, okay, there's another tennis book, Tennis Skills. Improve your tennis skills. Produced in association with Slazenger, which is a famous tennis racket and tennis apparel brand. And this is part of the Osborne Super Skills series. But again, all kinds of diagrams, how to play tennis, how to improve your tennis. Um, Maybe I'll make a video of me playing tennis one day on this channel. What is this? Stop the Watch, a book everyday, ordinary, anybody Olympics. Okay, so this is just like, you know, I don't know how to explain this. Yeah, basically like an amateur Olympics of things you can do every day at home, around the house. Magic tricks and card tricks. Okay, this is becoming a little bit difficult to the ergonomics. These next ones are called, again, I think this is I've got a whole bunch of them. Like it was called Mad Libs. Mad Libs is number 5. Number 6, I used to love this. Mad Libs 4, Grab Bag Mad Libs, and it's from Scholastic by Roger Price and Leonard Stern. If I remember correctly, it's like how to play. It's how to play Mad Libs, but it's there's a story and you add the words. So there's a story and then there are blanks and you can add words and then whatever words you want. You've got to choose. There's a way to pick adjectives and nouns, but basically, yeah. So okay, so you see below you, it's so there's the sentence. Cruikshanks is a very, and then there's the word adjective under the line, and you put an adjective, and then you make up your own story, I guess, with a lot of assistance. But yeah, these kind of things. There's also this maze game by Vladimir Kozyakin. Those kind of books. The problem here isn't taking out the books; it's putting them back. I don't want to lose track or go twice. Donald Bissett, A Young Puffin, Upside Down Stories. This one is this is a famous book, I believe Australian, very famous, probably the most famous Australian book, Picnic at Hanging Rock. So I'm doing this, so there's a lot of glare. I'm doing this in the daytime. I should have probably fixed the lighting. It's by Joanne Lindsay. I think this is famous about on 14th February 1900, St. Valentine's Day in rural Australia. 19 girls and their 2 schoolmistresses from exclusive Appleyard College leave for a picnic at the brooding Hanging Rock. Some of the group fail to return. Murder? Accident? Supernatural happenings? And what is the explanation for their bizarre disappearance? So, yeah. There's one more. Unfortunately, this is the Phantom Toll Booth, but the front cover is completely destroyed, but it's there. Who is the author? Norton Juster, with illustrations by Jules Pfeiffer. Don't know how popular the Phantom Toll Booth. Unfortunately, I don't have a cover, so okay, this is getting, because it's getting closer to where the camera is, so I might take a bunch now and just show them off. Excuse me about this. Okay, it's gonna fall. Let's just go. Pongwiffi and the Spell of the Year by Kay Umansky. James Bond Jr. So Live and Let's Dance is the name of the book, and you can see James Bond's female companion is in a sort of ballet kind of ballet dress, and then there's the bad guy with the gun trying to kill him on the ski whatever they're called, ski lift. The Queen's Nose, Dick King Smith. It says a magical and very funny tale. Okay, this is probably for me. S.E. Hinton, Rumblefish. This is, had I continued reading in my teenage years, you'd probably see a lot more books like this. Two guys with very aggressive demeanors playing billiards. They've got their black leather jackets like proper tough guys, bad boys. um, no idea how popular S.E. Hinton is, but yeah. This is an example of right when I stopped reading, probably maybe 11, 12 years old. Would have continued probably if I had gone on to teenage reading. Again, I think this one's my sister's, but again, this is the end of. I think both of us kind of dropped off reading from our childhood books. She never went really back to reading, my sister, but me, I've continued in adulthood. But this is How to Survive Junior High. Anna Hodgman and Patty Marks. This book, I'm actually reading Anne Frank's diary now, buddy read, with my booktube friend JJ and commenter friend Doug. I think, I don't know, this is probably my sister's copy, Joanna Reese, The Upstairs Room. And they're in an attic, they're definitely hiding. You can see the swastika in the back. This book won the Newbery Honor Books. Newbery Honor book, so probably popular. Is it Annie Delu was 8 years old in 1940 when the Germans attacked Holland and marched on the town of Winterswijk, where she lived. Annie was 10 when she and her sister Cindy had to leave their father, mother, and older sister Rachel to hide in an upstairs room of a remote farmhouse. For Annie and her family were Jewish and therefore in a great danger, as was the generous Gentile family who took the sisters in. The war can't last, people said, but for Annie and Cindy, confined for more than 2 years in a small cramped room, the war seemed to go on and on and on. Her name is Annie. She's hiding in the Netherlands in an attic. Very similar. I think it's a novelization of the Anne Frank story. This is by Patricia Calvert. This is probably mine. It's called Bigger, and it's got the Confederate flag, and it's got sort of cowboys in the background. I think this is a Civil War. Yeah, Civil War book for kids. I mean, I could read the back cover, but this video will go on and on and on, and I don't want to keep it too long. The next one is another Newbery Honor book. It's by Cornelia Meigs. It's called Swift Rivers. Whitewater Adventure. Adventure book, YA adventure book, young children's adventure book. This must be popular, although as the popular one, the Black Stallion. I don't know, Black Beauty, by Anna Sewell. I think this is a popular classic. Yeah, on the back there's classics: Black Beauty, Robinson Crusoe, Robin Hood, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, Heidi again, Treasure Island. I think very popular children's book. This one was mine again, late, pre-teenage. Gary Paulson, Cowpokes and Desperados. Interesting cover, running away from the bull. And then this one is probably my sister's, Steal Away to Freedom, Jennifer Armstrong. Susanna and Bethlehem are runaways. Susanna is an orphan sent to live on a southern plantation with her uncle and aunt. She wants to go home. Bethlehem is a slave. She wants to be free. They decide there's no better life waiting for them in the north. That there is a better life waiting for them in the north. A life without horrible rules and beatings. A place where they can hide and be best friends no matter what. It says slave. Okay. She's noticeably blonde. I guess slave, the South, slave is, it's set in the 19th century's Civil War. That's supposed to be the black African American slave. I guess. Okay, how do we continue this without creating Uh, well, let's go on to these next few books. Um, where are we? 25 minutes. Well, let's try to close this as quick as possible. 1,000 jokes. Just a book about you, but it's a larger. Look at that. It's like really long. It's that's a normal book behind you, and then just books about joke books. I don't know. Pretty self-explanatory. The next books I have are these. I used to have more, but I guess these are the only ones that have survived. It's called the Horrible Histories series. This one is called The Measly Middle Ages. This one is called The Angry Aztecs. And I've got this one, Dark Knights and Dingy Castles. I don't know how popular these are in the United States, but in the UK, it's a British author, Terry Deary. Hugely popular, very popular. It's like a graphic history book, targeting younger readers. Extremely popular. Again, in the UK, I don't know about the US. Here we've got Roald Dahl, Boy and Going Solo. I was a big Roald Dahl fan. We used to have more, but I don't know where they've gone. Maybe they'll come up, but I don't see them, at least visually. And then speaking of British books, which were probably not very popular in America, this is called Napper's Golden Goals, and it's by Martin Wadder. And it's a soccer, what Americans call soccer, what the rest of the world calls football books. Martin Waddell. You can see the artwork, and it's about schoolboys in a football team, and they face challenges. Very British sort of storyline. Again, I don't think very big in the U.S., but big in Britain for sure. Where do we go now? All right. Let's quickly. Well, it was inevitable, wasn't it? I don't know if you noticed. I'll edit it, but the camera fell. I was worried about that. It fell. I think we were at 26 minutes, so I've got about 5 minutes to continue this. I've also fixed the lighting. I know the glare was really bad at the first half of this video, or the first part of this video. I apologize for that. We'll just keep going. We're in a batch of horror, young children's horror books. M.D. Spencer, Shivers, The Haunting House. Endgame by Kate Daniel, an electrifying thriller. Again, don't know how popular these are. Angel of Impact, a legal thriller by Bonnie McDowell. I don't think this is for kids, but it's in my kids' shelves. Philadelphia lawyer Dana Svensson is on her way to a routine business meeting when her world detonates. The helicopter carrying her client collides with an airplane directly over the amusement park where Dana's two daughters are on a class trip. As fiery debris rains down on screaming family, Dana desperately races to the scene to find her children. Then, well, it keeps going, but yeah, I don't know why it's here, but it is. This is Strange Unsolved Mysteries of the Mind and Senses by Phyllis Rabin Emmert. Interesting, very nice cover. Very nice cover. I don't remember this. Might have been my sister's, but yeah, mysteries for children. I didn't even know that was a thing. What else do we have here? Tales for the Midnight Hour. J.B. Stamper. This is probably, building on the fame of Goosebumps, because this is another Scholastic book. Children's horror. 101 Ghost Stories. 13 Ghosts, Strange but True Stories, Will Osborne. Look at that cover, very nice. True Stories, 101 Creepy Creature Jokes. And then this isn't horror, but looks like kind of historical fiction again, but for younger readers. The Legend of Tarek. Again, I apologize for the glare. It's by Walter Dean Myers. Okay, That's an author I've heard. Walter Dean Myers. Isn't he a Western author? Writes Westerns? Walter Dean Myers, or is it sci-fi? I've heard the name on BookTube. Unfortunately, the back is torn. Walter Dean Myers was born in Martinsburg, West Virginia. He grew up in New York City, attended City College there, and taught creative writing and black literature, and worked as a senior editor at a major New York publishing house. Now a full-time writer and freelance editor of books, he also writes articles for newspapers and magazines. Mr. Myers has published many books for children and young adults, the latest of which The Outside Shot. He lives in Jersey City, New Jersey. I've heard the name, unless I'm mixing it up with somebody else, but okay, and then we'll go quickly where we at. We'll go quickly at the next big batch of books are linked, and I've shown these before in previous videos. I think there was a tag about childhood books. I have a lot of this, a big stack of them, Goosebumps. I'll show you the covers, I guess. Monster's Blood. Say Cheese and Die. Oh, that's another copy of Say Cheese and Die. The Curse of the Mummy's Tomb. I'm reading this backwards, so Welcome to Camp Nightmare. I think this video is becoming a disaster. I should have planned this better. Phantom of the Auditorium. The Girl Who Cried Monster. Nice covers. Attack of the Mutant. A Night in Terror Tower. And this is like a special edition. Reader Beware. Reader Beware, you choose the scare. I think the ending, there's like multiple endings, and you just, you get to choose. There's another one here, Stay Out to the Basement. Sorry for leaving the camera for a bit. There's other scholastic horrors if you want to scare yourself. Night Frights, 13 Scary Stories by J.B. Stamper. We saw J.B. Stamper before. The Ghost in the Noonday Sun, Sid Fleischman. I apologize for the glare because some of these have really nice covers. The Ghost That Came Alive by Vic Kroom. The Ghost Family Robinson. Is this a knockoff on I don't know. Anyway, the Ghost Family Robinson, isn't it? The family anyway, I don't and this is probably mine. This looks like a young boy's book, Encyclopedia Brown and the Case of the Disgusting Sneakers. Again, children's mystery. Donald J. Sobel. I don't know how popular this is. Encyclopedia Brown. It's the only one I have. But then these are mine as well. These are very popular. I've only got 2 of them. Number 47 and number 48, The Hardy Boys, by Franklin W. Dixon. Mystery of the Whale Tattoo. And then I have the Arctic Patrol Mystery. Again, the glare, but very nice covers. I saw a bunch of them on a special discount at the new bookshop, but I didn't grab them. Maybe I should have, but because they were being sold for really cheap, and a whole bunch of them I could add to that collection. But those are the ones I have from my childhood. So okay, I think I'll cut this. There'll probably be a part 4, but it'll be a shorter part 4 because we've done the majority. There's just a few bigger books, kind of like children's encyclopedias, but then there's other stuff. So I'll do it in a part 4. But until then, BookTube, thank you very much. Check out Paul the Accidental's Booksellers. Keep Narnia November in your minds. Keep your calendars and schedules free. But until then, BookTube, salute.